Start stream up. Can't. I'm streaming that Hina pick better than any FGO story. Okay, so we left off needing to ribbit eating. Oh, there we go. I turned my heater on for just a couple minutes. That's why I haven't been using stream starting soon because honestly I don't really want to. Like I understand sometimes there's things that you want to do before stream, like I don't know, pour yourself a drink or something, right? What I'm most concerned about right now is the other person, one of the other people that lives in the house, showing up and having the power get turned off because they use the microwave. It would appear the Loperites have infiltrated, because if the power goes out, we just have to turn the breaker back on, right? But if that happens, if we trip the power, there's a chance that I'm going to not be able to get back in game. I'd rather that not happen. What joy to sample the delights of Aetheris. How marvelous it is to see you again. You'll be pleased to hear I've learned much since our fascinating discussion at the Curatorium. It's all thanks to Urianger, you see. He's taught me the finer points of cooking, which, despite my name, I knew very little about. So many dishes, so many hard to pronounce words. Actually, I was rather hoping he'd show me how to bake an Archon loaf. They're quite popular, I hear, though it doesn't sound like it contains any flavor to speak of. Still, it's the sort of thing your kind enjoys. I shall make enough to last the whole journey. I'll take a pizza instead. Crikey. As all have since recovered from the rather savage beating you administered, they bear you no ill will. Well, perhaps a little, on account of the savagery. The time heals all wounds. Most, anyway. Hey, if you attack somebody, you can't complain about them fighting back. That's what I say. What's this? Oh, marks. I've just been the stuff that I get from the Grand Company. Oh, that's Living Way. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive, considering they didn't use any creation magic. What we're really interested in is Aetheris itself, though we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Urianger and your good self. You're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat. Perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? I mean, I like them, so yeah, it would be pretty fun. Where is Urianger? I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture? Might we begin with that great big what's it over yonder? Ah yes, the what's it. I shall leave its explanation to her. But at least I was able to get a writing map, so I don't like. So at least now when I travel places on mounts, it's actually pretty fast. This is all very intriguing, I'm sure, but where are the food preparation stations? The what was your word for it? Kitchens? That reminds me, Puddingway, our newly appointed chief of pudding research. I need to go find that side quest and do it. To make several adjustments to my work if I'm to match this degree of craftsmanship. I shall leave no corner unrounded. Considering Singing Way and Growing Way specialties, I expect them to pay full attention to your explanations, which I am sure will be most informative. The Loperit's technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our own. Unless that is, beknowest to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Charlayan... What's its? Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magic's positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features. It's a little hard to see from here, but is that a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks? And I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? It must be because of those cogs in that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside, too. Mushroom-like thing. That looks like the trees in Greatest Ensville. Hold on, that's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so imbalanced too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water. If geo rates are so bad, I feel like story won't even be there. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install in even the harshest of environments. For us Loperites, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that peoples of Etheris sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Many settlements in Thanalan are built near an oasis. Areas near waterfalls are common sites for villages in Giribania. Yes, this one. That seems like not a very good thing, though. So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. We can provide enough water to keep them from dying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logistican Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Loperites will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Only FGO I want to see is R30. That sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlay and Hamlet. I'll lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We could not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of them. Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big nasty teeth, Loperites may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as an escort to Living Way and Cooking Way, Untrusting Way and Growing Way to thy care. Do they not? They have people who they have rabbits, Loperites that could fight. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. To the water extraction, what's it? I'm gonna start using the word what's it in real life. It actually makes me think of Tonks from Harry Potter, who I really liked in the books. But perhaps you could tell the local beasties were not nearly as delicious as we might appear. Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction is worth these harrowing experience. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you. I can't... I find them to be quite adorable. And they're quickly raising to the ranks of the pixies with how much I like them, actually. I saw it in safe. That was all very exciting, but I'd rather not do it again. Wait, how exactly were we planning to head back later? You've done well to see those two here safely. They can be a bit skittish at the best of times, but I'm pleasantly surprised they didn't run off and get themselves killed. Wow. I couldn't help noticing a distinct lack of carrots along the way, or many of the other vegetables I was expecting to see. Though I did catch a glimpse of some sort of bipedal tomato charging about. Must be my imagination. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logistican Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me. Forgive me for asking, but are we any closer to the kitchens? Come to think of it, why am I even here? Atmospheric manipulators are hardly my area of expertise. That was terrifying, but at least the scenery was more pleasant than what's named Garlemald. As a first impression of a theorist, it was far from favorable. Anyway, onwards and upwards, quite literally, as is the case here. On this occasion, it would behoove us to seek the counsel of those qualified to describe the workings of the apparatus. They may also be in possession of schematics or other useful documentation, should the Loporits request them. As the forum's esteemed guests, 'tis unlikely that they would be refused. Yet thou knowest well as I the changeable dispositions of Sarlane bureaucrats. Oh, as I understand, places like Labyrinthos are the exception rather than the rule. You don't all build enormous underground living spaces like this, surely. I would actually really like to go take the Loperites like all over Eorzea. That would be a really that I would really enjoy that. I really hope there's side quest that lets me take the Loperites. Not sure how to. All of a Eorzea. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life. Artificially crafted. Created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Aetheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder? A good question, actually. Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Change of what's it? This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provisions facilities. In other words, where is the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Marial Agronomic. As I imagine, Singingway and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicious delicacies Urianger was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention, Aetheris will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there is still time. Dun, dun. This is the place, yes? The heady aroma was enough to guide me here. I spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put in pies. Follow me, which I'm fine with. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the forum decides will be our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinct. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce if we... By all means, help yourself. Yeah, so... that is a valid concern. Like, you most likely wouldn't be able to save and take all life, right? Like, animals, you wouldn't be able to take all of them. Flora, like, I think you would prioritize foods, but non-foods actually have a place as well, and there's like lots of things to think about, like something simple like coffee beans, tea leaves, like herbs that you don't necessarily eat as food but have different properties. Like, there's lots of things. It's not just food. Oh, I know what these are. These are grapes. Yes. Let's see if they are as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. I love grapes. I'd brave an erupting volcano for a choice bunch. Eh. I'm not sure about those choice answers, but whatever. And there's also things like spices. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. The fruit, of course. I actually don't know if that's the right answer. That's just what I think. That the fruit probably came first. Equal parts sweet and sour, as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Urianger about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter? This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices, each individual with their own personal preference. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. The thing about rabbits though is they don't only eat carrots. They literally eat like vegetables. They'd probably be more happy with lettuce than with carrots. Pumpkins. I don't think I've ever had like raw pumpkin. color, that texture, are they some sort of enormous round carrots? No, they're pumpkins. No, in any case, proper nomenclature is less a concern than the taste. Ugh, it's so hard and flavorless, I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. The all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures, masquerading as goodly carrot. Stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Your name's Cooking Way. Far from it, cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has become one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. I wonder, though, if there is anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Our gourds seem unfazed by the chaos occurring around us. If only we too could live our lives as peacefully as pumpkins. What a wondrous fragrance. With luck, it'll have flavor to match. What are these? Are these lemons? Oh, these are going to be really sour. As I've no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? Maybe sometime before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. It really, like, food really is intricate, you know? Like lemons. Lemons are really sour, as most people probably know. But if you eat like half a lemon a day, it's actually pretty healthy for you. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with the bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. Ooh, baked goods. Ooh, sick came up there. This is delicious. Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, we rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. The same is true for many other ingredients. I'm glad that Cooking Way is learning how to cook. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the forum agonized over what was worth preserving and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive. The one good thing about seeds, though, is they really don't take up that much space. Like, let's say you take some cows, right? Well, the amount of seeds you could have in storage for the size of even just one cow is a lot. And the thing about them is that they'll grow and then they'll give you more seeds. Such strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your. Mankind, the Loperites, we were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. Where perfection is an unattainable ideal, 'tis the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations, since time immemorial, have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What, then, is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. You make lemonade. Pardon my Eorzean, but what in what else are you on about? And who are you anyway? Cooking Way at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there will be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetherius' species as possible, if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course, I look forward to it. Well, this has all been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if Urianger and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? One second, I need to go check my laundry real quick. Right back. Alright, I'm back. The other person is here, and I just have to hope that they don't trip the power. Where am I going? I don't have any like sweet snacks, you know? Are those supposed to be benches? Like these like this kind of shrubbery, do you need to take that on the arc? Oh, there you are. Have the others finished talking about rainmaking what's-its yet? Not to rub it in, but we had the most fantastic time while you were away. Urianger was able to obtain all manner of meteorological data for us to pore over. I'll be sure to put my newfound knowledge to good use once we return to the moon. It's my duty to make your journey as comfortable as possible, though there's no telling how long it will be. 100 years? 1,000? Probably closer to 5,000, give or take. A lot of years. Where have you and Cooking Way been? If the two of you were engaged in pursuits of an educational nature, you should have taken me too. I am the leader after all. She sounds jealous that we probably had tons of fun without her. Limsa Laminsa is home to the Culinarians Guild and many less than savory establishments. The Far East has oodles of noodles. I think for Cooking Way, I think the best place would be the Culinarians Guild. Would that I had time to visit. The more I learn of Aetheris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final day. Alas, Heidelin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Muffins. I wonder if this is how Pudding Way felt the first time Urianger made pudding. Though I'm not sure that actually was pudding, come to think of it. Something about it seemed a bit off. Urianger appears to be tallying the Loperites in preparation for the imminent departure. I trust thy time in Marial agronomics did bear fruit. Our own efforts too were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them, and us, for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlotte and Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Loperite there. And further questions within my power to answer. Oh. He doesn't want to walk back. That's pretty funny. That was ever so delightful, and with this much information, I can fine-tune the moon's environs for your people's comfort. It's surprisingly tricky to estimate the appropriate temperature settings for beings so lacking in fur. Why did I not ask Jebke how to make carrot muffins? Oh no, there was nowhere in particular I was hoping to go. I simply wish to see, hear, feel, and think as much as I possibly can while we're here. Oh, what is that for? What did I say? Oh. That was indeed me verbalizing aside to express my emotional state. You want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Aetheris at Logistican Alpha. That's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that? The Black Shroud is quite leafy, a place of utmost tranquility. They're verdant, at least. The trees of Dravania stand particularly proud. One was purple. It's interesting. I know that there's people out there that don't like Gridania. So I don't know. Gasp! Gasp, I say. With a star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. Aw, that's not true. Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for their uniqueness. Thought I heard tiny voices. What's up, Tancred? How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death, and we can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not. Though aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable. I'm not sure that I'm up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in thee. If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try. I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with him. Tis as good a place as any. Come. You'd best go with him. I don't think Urianger misjudged him, but Growing Way does look like he could use some emotional support. I still have work to complete elsewhere. I trust that I won't return to find any Loperites. Cheers. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, can I help you? It is you who would help me. In my is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see, and what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Charlatan ingenuity, that it's built with peerless Allegan technology, is all true, but I know, that none of that's a guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. Why do they not test these things in the expanse, then? Space. Thou art familiar with these daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears. Oh, I'm not sure about that, but well, maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity to regulate the environment. But what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star? Ah, gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places. I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Might I prevail upon the Loperites to attend them? Excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There is naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Etheris, and learn more about them while we're at it. Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek thee out the distressed and apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. What does F do? Green. Okay. System hotkeys. Burn. Why is it number pad 0? Huh. I mean, that's pretty neat, but probably not. That's nice. Okay, now I need to go in here quick. F, that focus target, shift F, F12. What is R set as? Oh, auto run. What XC? Target filters? Oh, that's that thing. Okay, I don't want to change that. Let's see. Character. B is flip camera. I don't really use that. E, those are strafe. That's run. What is T? But Y? Fishing log. What am I thinking about? The medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and shrugans, but to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us. Yes. Yes, you idiot. I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. Okay, I don't really care about what these people are doing. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense played as a piano. My feet and knees are as drums and cymbals too. I kind of forgot too that my desk is pretty high. "56 bunches of weeds in the ground, 56 bunches of weeds. Rip one out, add to the mound, 5 bunches of weeds in the..." Okay. And oh so fuzzy, goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Out of 8? Just leave me to my misery. The forum can appoint someone else. I apologize. I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? Pilot is not the person you want to be. In that way. I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part is part of the plan found sounds awfully vague to me. Gods know what made by gods know who. Worries. No, I believe I'm fine, thank you. I've been confiding in my colleagues and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough. Oh, great. I wish you didn't have to search them out. I wish that it just had the little symbols already there. Where's another person at? There's like nobody up here. Dun dun. There's a person over here. Maybe on the outside of the walls? Doesn't look. Oh, I'll drive this way just in case. Where are these people at? This one. Hyperventilating engineer? It's not good. This is what time feels like. Actually, there was that one dude way over there, so let's go see if 7 out of 8. See if he's one of them. Oh. At least we can say we checked. I don't like this quest at all. Where's this person at? by... Okay, so I got that one. Ah, 21. Zero by 20. $22. 22.1. 20. That's really annoying. Like it wouldn't have been so bad if it just told me the locations instead of made me have to search them out. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Long run, however, most of you won't die.
so much in, well, in forever.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleeping Way. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that, were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Wilson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
Oof.
It hath been some time. Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Oh, Urianger's getting some moments.
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise.
He was very headstrong with it. He was.
Don't blame
though.
yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say, knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know, we always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while, arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no
This
idea
one's still
how proud
sleeping.
we are.
To see the boy, our daughter, trusted and believed in more than anyone, grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder. She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
That was a really nice moment. Classical Roegadyn language isn't so different from Eorzan. Do you ever wonder why we named our daughter Moon's Bride? When I first held her, the moon was shining silver and full. The whole world seemed to glow. I knew it had chosen her. She would be a beacon of that selfsame light. Of course, we'd later hear our fair share of jokes about how we ought to have gone for Sun instead, how bright and stubborn she was. But fiery as my Moonbrita was, she was always kind and gentle. Moonbrita was awesome. I really didn't need to be reminded that she's gone. So shall I remain to aid them as need. If thou art need elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Till later. It's Delta on. I'm back. Said months before. Oh. Search for Alice. Yeah. He is so stubborn, that one. Oh yeah, simply put, my wife and I work at Korea, and she happened to conceive whilst we were living here in Charlotte and Hamlet. I assure you, we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust the child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Let us go pick up this other one, and hopefully it's not too out of the way. Wait. The Viera Gleaner is watching you with interest. You're a visitor, Charlene, aren't you? You do have a worldly look about you. As a gleaner, I too have journeyed far and wide. Tell me, where is the farthest you have ventured? Another world. Is that meant to be in jest? The look on your face tells me you're serious. Aye, you should do nicely. You see, I need a more experienced traveler to say a prayer for me before I leave to Giribania. You would do me the honor. The reactor operator. Okay, so they're both pretty much in the same direction. So let's go finish these real quick. God. I'd very much Ribbit. I'd very much like for you to see a kid one time and not have them like run away. Fine, I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial light here changed recently. I'm sure most people haven't noticed, but when you've spent your whole life here, the difference is like night and day. Even so, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. Got into a big fight with father about it. But Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what would happen if the artificial sun broke? That's why I can't go home yet. Just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this. I'll gladly take your money. Okay. You here for the crystal? I hope it does some good for that gleaner. Those folks need all the luck they can get. Never heard of UHD or FHD. There we go. Okay, we just gotta go west. Wandering Loperite. I've been watching some people like play through Endwalker, at least the parts that I've played through. One of them was Zepla, and she always leaves her mouse like right there, right in the middle, and it kind of bugs me. like if the mouse is like right there, I don't care necessarily, like that's fine. But it's like when people are talking and the mouse is like right in the middle and right on their faces, the characters' faces. Squeal. No, I don't mind if you help with the boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? Stupid. Oh, at least it did an AoE attack. That's nice and be avoidable. It sucks when they start chasing you and they just like auto attack you. Because I think if you take damage, it like reduces your time. You're wondering why we were tasked with bringing those boxes to Emporia to begin with. So was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh hush, they're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we finished. The Opalden is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance, at least. Considering where we are, we might even learn something interesting. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you? We've brought samples from Charlene Hamlet, Series 110? The crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I had expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Alfano and Alice, at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it? Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the studium. I remember when you were yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's noliths, no less. You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that in exchange for the sort of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery. You will find the forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. She's literally right here, love. Are you not one of the signs of the 7th dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the ether burner. You just accept this stupid document. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents to my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlene has ever been a nation of the curious. It would be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and... Alice is like the best person to have embarrassing stories of because she gets like super embarrassed. Well, as you know, part of why the Levieux name garners such respect in Charlene is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Yumkrep's Hope, a lineage few can claim. I've never thought much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation, they were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. 'Tis why Yumkrep's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war, and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Archon Louisoix looked not to Yumkrep's words but his deeds. He asserted in defiance of his peers that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was the true mark of our founders' virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to its doom. There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is ignorance. Remember his words well, indeed. But this is not an embarrassing story of their parents, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlatan or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Fortunato could not reconcile Louisoix's deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers. A philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fortunato agonized over the contradiction for much of his life. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortunato's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day. And that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with the kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say. Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure those specimens you brought make it to the proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. What's up, Graha? I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Perfect, this shouldn't take long. Okay. An event that are, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames of Kokol's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-respected ether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. We'll be the ones who go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water respected ether. Oh, okay, so you just need me to fight some elementals. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Is there going to be a big one? Not as much. No major complications to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Kokol will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Elpis. Okay. As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Alag, and of the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of the Alagans' efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world, Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Alag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amon. Oh. I believe he had his own reasons. There is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his former life. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls, like minds, have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Alig that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zonde. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zonde's return, Amon provided these languid souls with the means to free themselves from the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zonde been convinced by his death that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to travel to the ends of creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kokol is getting on? Looks like we got some running to do. Probably stream for another 45 minutes and then I'll probably be done. I'm kind of getting hungry. I'm at a point in the story that I'm really enjoying though. Like I like serious bits in the story and everything, but I like slice of life even more, and just like what we've been doing, I've actually been enjoying. I do trust you to deliver on your promise. I do, only I hate waiting. I want the adamantite and I want it now. Share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. The sitting about's unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions. Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated. Get you gone. I have mistakes to make. I like him.
All set, I take it?
We finished what we could, delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals, trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperates, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have for the most part been allayed, though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Cryle.
What's up, Cryo?
Your special delivery has arrived. Round up everyone and come to the harbour at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbour. Your presence is requested, with all speed.
Ocean? What's going on? Is it going to be because of us?
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
By the 12! Surely, these can't all be.
Oh, it's him. Hey, what's up, dude?
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
I love this.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
It's one of those things. It's just frustrating about Charlene, and like they're supposed to be knowledgeable, wise, intelligent people, but and I understand that there's not always the possibility of like cooperation, especially when it comes to like city-states and governments and stuff like that, but like they'd never get this on their own, you know.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamon shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Take that back.
Make me.
I I will not stoop to your level.
Oh, who's this?
My,
Oh, what's up,
what
Hancock?
a grand welcome party.
And Soroban.
Hancock and Soroban.
We come bearing relics both sacred and Allegan, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Rayson Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements. Upon learning of your need, we made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause.
Ooh.
Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onokoro, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
The snake doesn't trust anybody. That's funny.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time.
Yas.
Fortunately, our majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenard Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending. When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount.
Okay.
We also have the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Oh, the mom? That's funny.
Mother!
Millions.
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent. Waste not.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, though? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are.
Where is his accent from?
I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlie. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters. Though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
What's up, Sid?
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon?
Hero's here too?
And why didn't you mention it sooner? The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon.
Sid, you brought the team.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
Wait, who's that dude on the left?
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud Shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryl's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now. Far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them.
Is this the first time we hear Hurry Wolder speak?
Ah, the Gobbyflock fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness. The clash between their machina and the Allagan defences
Omega
was a
weapon.
sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the gobby booms.
The gobby booms?
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razat Khan not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. 'Tis appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Summer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ashdaya's answer was silence, as ever. Tiamat and Chris-Velgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say,
Azjaza? I don't even know. I don't think I've met that one.
Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
Look at me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again. Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent. Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the Scion's end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you. I beg you, share your struggles with me, as family.
Is Alice gonna cry? Come on, Alice.
You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst.
Yeah, I was pretty much right.
It was love
that he's
and happiness beyond.
He's pretty much just trying to protect them. You know, he didn't. He wanted them
And
to
the conviction
not put
so
themselves in
powerful
danger.
that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. The great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisoix openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Carteneau. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship.
That's the thing with people, though. You can't really force them to do anything.
I was wrong.
You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures. Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Amelians.
So the dad is the super worried mama bird in this case.
Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assume that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger.
Come on now, we could not stop Alice.
Yours, in particular. I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here after all.
Oh no, I have to make a speech? With me. I don't want to say that one. Be optimistic. This character does always say like the optimistic thing like that though.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
I'm not sure why Sid showed up with everybody else. Like, I feel like as soon as you said, "Hey, we have a ship going to the moon," Sid would have like been there the next day. Lise sent a letter along with Gridania's contribution. Evidently, journeying to Gridania was quite the trialist. It was getting into the Dolomite Shard, as was reaching its depths. If I never see another crate again, it will be too soon. Unaided, we Scions could never have gathered such a bounty. Refined adamantite relics, sacred and ancient alike. That's what I mean, unaided. Like, it's nice that they want to save all the people and everything, but like you can't just do it on your own. Cannot wait to see what our friends from the Ironworks do with the ship. Me too, actually. I had no idea how massive a weight it was until he lifted it off my shoulders. More importantly, his words were affirmation that the path we walk is the right one. Part of me might have been satisfied so long as my family and friends survived the final days, but to save the star is what we all want most. And if those same people believe that I can help see it done, who am I to say otherwise? Come what may, I will fight for this world of ours until the very end. Hear, hear, Ali say, hear, hear. What's up, Tataru? My throat hurts from directing so many people to Labyrinthos. That only proves we got our money's worth. Boobies! I apologize for not informing you earlier of Aaronville's involvement. He was something of a contingency plan. Thank goodness we had him and his fellow gleaners to hand, though. It would have been monstrously difficult to locate Sid and transport the Hanish delegation here otherwise. Wouldn't Sid have like a ink shell that's that we always have access to? My character is literally a member of the Ironwork. You know what? I've not seen Hien or Yugir yet. Haven't, but I've been signing in a lot earlier first week. We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As we agreed, he will reveal the means by which Heidelin Wit may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail. Was this the last level 88 quest? One thing I want to do is I want to go to the Leviu estate. See what's back over here real quick. After that speech, they can't be banished from their house anymore, right? Oh, I liked her. Triple Triad. Lady Emiliance told me I was free to do as I pleased, but I would never think of leaving her side, much less at a time like that. Interesting. When people are servants, it's interesting to to see like what they do in times like this, and in times where it's like a planet-ending event, because like all they really know is serving this house, right? Wait, what? Where is my ether current? I thought that was the ether current. So confused. Okay. So annoying, but whatever. Oh, this will get us inside the... Oh, okay, okay. Why there's so many people here. Super steep stairs, yo. Okay, I feel like me talking with Heidelin right now is going to be a long cutscene. It marks the beginning and end of our efforts, whence we delve to seek audience with the star, and whence we will embark on our journey to the heaven. Rin! I wish Rin was here. But at the same time, I'm glad she's on the first, and I don't think anything bad's happening on the first right now. Wait. Welcome to Thamazine Zine. Direct your attention toward its center to behold the arc over which we have long labored. Okay, so that's the arc. It was designed as a medium-sized craft, the better to reduce fuel consumption. Miniaturizing magics have been applied to its interior to ensure that the thrust-to-weight ratio does not place too great a limitation on its freight capacity. Oh, okay, okay. I was like, it looks kind of small. The ether burner, as you know, has been removed for further modification, but we shall reattach it soon enough. I have received word that Kokol and several of your allies are working on it with an intense fervor. They are sure to see it done. 'Twas by their expertise that many a prior disaster was averted. Anything, I fear they will not afford as much time for speaking with Heidelin ere they finish. Point taken. Let us move on. I must warn you again, however, that even with the benefit of our device, to treat with her is not a simple feat. Any people to talk to? You felt it too, don't you? The ship is impressive, but it pales in comparison to the vast primordial power beneath our feet. It would seem enchantments most advanced have been woven into the ship's very bones. Wolfson and Luida were doubtless called upon for their expertise in teleportation magic. We must learn of Heidelin's greater plan. We can only hope that she also knows the current location of Midi. And we can do neither if we do not focus on whatever trial awaits us within. I can well imagine the zeal with which they're working on the ether burner. And all I can say is that I'm glad we have something to do other than get in their way. Once it's ready, we'll see to it that the ship is put to good use. To think how many generations labored for this end. We aim higher still. We must spare no preparation, and that means speaking with Heidelin, no matter the cost. I doubt this is what Erenville meant when he said that there remains much we do not know, but I still can't believe anything that was hidden underneath this. Everything that was hidden underneath the city this entire time. It was the Alligans who first combined the mechanical and ethereal sciences into a revolutionary discipline. Given that this ship is nothing short of a technological marvel in that precise vein, Alligan salvage should suit it well. Because these, like, sesame cookies, I can always just go get more of those. I'm, like, never going to run out. I have 42,000 company sills, so if I happened to be, like, at one left, I could go get a stack of them. I have done what I can to impress upon the gravity of what lies ahead. Are you prepared? You've got to be kidding me now. God. What can I get from Alliance raids? I mean, normal raids. Probably gonna do a normal raid and then I've not done my Beast Tribe quests. I probably could have done that instead. I thought I did those. No, I just did a leveling roulette, didn't I? Ugh. Normally, normal raids don't take all that long to finish. 17. The only I was just gonna say that sometimes you get these ones and they're not really that good for experience. Cast regen on them, and that should cancel out their poison that they got. Oh, it's this thing. Okay. I fully expect my experience bar to like not move at all though. I might have to do a trial. Where are you at? Dun 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 dun. What is this? I don't remember this. I don't remember this water whirlwind thingy. That changed? I thought maybe they added a phase or something. Jeez. No, I didn't mean it. I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'm gonna do trials and then I'll probably do my Beast Tribe quests to end stream because I need to do them. Be right back. I'm in a bit of a conundrum right now because I don't want to do anything that's going to take too long. And if I do a trial, I could very easily get Zodiark. Wait, is this the only trial I have from Endwalker? Didn't realize that actually. Alliance raids, I do not want to get any of the Stormblood ones. They take too long. Zodiark one is annoying. Oh, what are we gonna get? I hope it's not Zodiark though. What is this? Oh no. Only my second time here, I know nothing about this fight. I'll just try to make sure everyone's healed. I tend to use the size as more of like a offensive skill. I should probably stop doing. Oh no! At least since I was pushed off the ledge, I don't have to dodge this. Dodge this spinning. I mean, my co-healer, will you, I would, there we go. Oh my god. Guess I should have waited. We don't have anybody else that can raise except the two healers. I can't remember. Is there like a... Yeah, there's a second phase. I still need to finish this raid series. At least my MP's regenerating. Go. Oh my god. Okay, with the arrows, I really should have guessed that it was gonna push me. Does this scholar, do they like use their instacast on like spells or something? I don't understand. Oof. That's a rip, I think. I really should have guessed the arrows meant it was going to push me. So yeah, it's not too hard of a fight. It's just it's not a fight I know. So some of the things take me by surprise. GG. No weapons or anything, right? Oh, that got me so close. I will... So once again, I don't really care about the level 60 ones. I'll probably just go and do these ones just to get up to level 89. I probably only need to do 2 of them. So let's go do that. This. What do we got? We got so I need about 500,000 it seems. Yeah, so 2 of them. I'll just do all 3 of them. I don't really care. they'll be quick. And it's already 6 o'clock, so I do need to kind of hurry because the place I want to go eat closes at 7. And I am hungry. I liked Iron Fist, but only because I loved Ollie. So the one good thing about doing this is like level 88 is none of the creatures are gonna aggro to me. So it's literally gonna be really fast. But yeah, Iron Fist, because I loved Colleen. If Colleen wasn't in Iron Fist, I probably wouldn't have liked it. If Colleen wasn't in it, probably wouldn't have liked it. Viva! For Luke Cage, I didn't mind it, but I didn't like 3/4 of the villains. Get this done. What is this? And I thought the fighting scene were terrible. And especially because the car I'm gonna use to go get food, it still needs to be, it hasn't been started today. So I need to go and start it and let it warm up a little bit for a few minutes. What's the temperature like outside? It's 31 degrees outside. Okay. Go back to Gradania. Because like I expressed, like I said on Discord earlier today, I think it was, I like I like ending in with my character actually getting to sleep on a bed. Like I know it's just a character or whatever. It's not a real person, blah 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 blah. But like your character, they put in some work, you know? Let them have a good rest. That. A bard, okay. So tomorrow, tomorrow I should be streaming this again. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday I won't be streaming, most likely, because I'm gonna go watch a movie, and I might as well just take that day off. But tomorrow I do. I'm just starting at level 89 quest, right? So hopefully tomorrow I can like make it so that I can get to level 90 quests, because I don't know if it's stops at level 90 or not. I don't know how that works. I forget. I don't know how it was in previous expansions. But anyways, stream tomorrow at least 3 hours. I might try to split it up like I did today. We'll see what happens. But other than that, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Let's listen to some of this. Dun, 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 dun.